Hello and welcome to Rams Revealed. Great to be back after a Thanksgiving hiatus and some understandable disruption at the facility resulting from COVID, from weather, and all that's come along with 2020. Thank you for your patience. Los Angeles is now 8-4. The Rams sit atop the NFC West with 4 games to play. A quick turnaround for Thursday Night Football against the Patriots. So we're very appreciative of today's guest joining us on a short week. He returned from injured reserve to contribute to a 38-28 win over the Arizona Cardinals. We welcome Ogbo Okoronkwo to Rams Revealed. And, hey, it's his first visit to the podcast, so let's give him the full introduction. He's in his 3rd season, outside linebacker, Ogbo Okoronkwo. How'd I do with that?
8 out of 10.
Okay, let me try again. Ogbo Okoronkwo, any better?
Let me help you. Ogbo Okoronkwo.
Ogbo Okoronkwo.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, I'm learning. That's better. Is Ogbo still good by you informally?
Yeah, Ogbo's it's cool.
All right. How did it feel to be back in action, Ogbo, after missing 6 games?
I felt really good just to be back out there with the team, just to feel the energy out there. It was really fun.
And Kyler was your college teammate at Oklahoma. How would you evaluate how the Rams defense performed against him?
Oh yeah, I think we did a great job of just pestering him, making him very uncomfortable, making him do a lot of uncharacteristic things. So it was fun.
Your elbow brace was legit. Did that feel okay?
Oh yeah, it's pretty comfortable. It's like custom form fitting, so it feels good.
Wear anything like that before? Or was that a first?
That was definitely a first.
And how about the elbow itself? Feeling good coming off the injury?
Yeah, it's feeling really good, real strong. Woke up this morning feeling great.
Well, not to go a full wardrobe breakdown on you here on the podcast, but I've noticed that you and your teammates have some designs on your thigh pads this year that really show up nicely on game day. You had number 45 on each thigh pad yesterday, I saw from the video and the pictures, for example. Is that new this year with the uniforms, or did I just whiff on that in years prior?
Michael Brockers actually got those made for me and for a bunch of the guys. He's just he's the leader of the team. He wanted to do something just to just to spice it up a little bit, and he got them off for us. So it was really cool.
Wow. And just starting here in 2020, that's a new thing for this year?
Yeah, I think he had them last year, and I think everybody liked them, and then he decided to get them for everybody.
That is awesome. I've been wondering about that, and I've seen more and more of them. So thank you for sharing that bit of information with us. So how do you feel, Ogbo, about this opportunity ahead of your team now? 4 games to go, and if you win the first 3, Patriots, Jets, Seahawks, you actually clinch the division in Week 16. But in the final quarter of this season, it's all in front of you.
Yeah, we're definitely excited, but we're just trying to look at it week by week. Right now we have Thursday, we have the Patriots. We don't want to look too far ahead. We just want to focus on what's in front of us.
Of course, good football answer. Nicely navigated there. You've been well trained. You have that 2018 season, your rookie season, right? Taken away by a broken foot, suffered in OTAs, if I remember correctly. What was it like to watch that Super Bowl run from the sideline?
Honestly, it would be easy to be upset about it, but it was such a once in a lifetime opportunity that I was just grateful to, just to be able to be there. Because a lot of guys can go their whole career and never even come close to the Super Bowl. So the fact that I just got to be there was really amazing.
And as you see the Patriots for the first time since Super Bowl 53, how about that night in Atlanta specifically? Where were you and how did you watch the game itself?
Oh, I was on the sideline. I watched the game. I believe I was inactive that game, and I my eyes were glued to it the whole time. It was a lot of people call it a boring game, but if you really like football, it was a really fun game to watch.
Well, that's good. I didn't remember specifically seeing where you were, taking account of you that day, but you can say you've been on the sideline for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure.
And hopefully get to play in one during your career at some point.
Hopefully this year.
There you go. Do you sense any opportunity from your team, from your teammates, to have some get back in this game Thursday because of that Super Bowl loss to the Patriots, even though so many of the pieces are different 2 years later?
Yeah, there's been jokes here and there about it, but honestly, this team doesn't need that for motivation. We see what's in front of us, and we're all just really ready to make it happen.
Yeah, one big difference, of course, instead of Tom Brady, who you've already seen as an organization with the Buccaneers, now it's Cam Newton. And yesterday, he became the first quarterback in NFL history, Ogbo, with multiple rushing touchdowns in 4 games in a season. So Cam Newton, you probably know about his reputation, but now you see him at SoFi Stadium. What's that going to be like?
I mean, watching Cam, like, growing up, it was really fun to watch him, just how different he is than most quarterbacks. He really changed the game. So it's going to be fun to play against him. He's a competitor, so I'm looking forward to it.
You're looking forward to seeing what he wears to SoFi Stadium on Thursday night?
I'm sure everybody's looking forward to what he wears.
Can you rock a hat like he does?
I don't know if I can do it quite like him, but I'll try. I'll give anything a try once.
Despite all the time you've missed due to injury in your career, I've always sensed that you're a fan favorite, that you're like the edge rusher Rams fans have just been waiting for to get on the field for a nice stretch of games. Do you sense that too? Do you feel that they have just a tremendous amount of belief in your ability?
I definitely feel the love for sure. The social media love, it's pretty cool. It's fun having it's never a bad thing to have people believe in you. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. I see all of it on my Twitter.
The sack and a half you had in London last year, a big reason why, I think, kind of fueling that optimism and that belief. How special was that game for you?
Oh, that was amazing. That was my first NFL career sack. I'll never forget it. I felt like my skin was on fire. It was such a rush.
And then to get one this year as well before that injury at Washington. How did it feel to kind of go back on the shelf, I guess? You've had some bumps in the road, and I imagine that's just got to get tiring, frustrating, discouraging for a professional athlete. How do you keep yourself from feeling like, oh no, here we go again?
You just the locker room, the coaches, my teammates, everybody, especially the training staff, everybody just does a good job of making you just feel included and hopeful. Everybody believes in you. Everybody's letting you know, like, when you get back, you're gonna be doing great. You're gonna pick up right where you left off. When you hear stuff like that every day, all that positivity, it's easy to stay positive.
As an athlete, do you have to reject the notion, the label injury prone? Like, are these just a couple of things that happened to you at this moment in time that's not necessarily a trend?
Yeah, it's not a trend. My whole career, I never missed a game before I got to the NFL. So, you can say what you want. I just, stuff happens. It's not about what happens; it's how you react to it. So.
Right. Well, here's wishing you a long stretch of health beginning last Sunday against the Cardinals as you're back off of injured reserve. Ogbo, besides pure talent, and there are some truly elite defenders on this defensive roster, what do you think makes the Rams defense special in 2020?
It's real family. Everybody really genuinely likes each other. Everybody's playing for each other. There's relationships outside of football on that team. And that's just what makes it so special. When we go out there, it's a real family thing out there. And I can say, this is a lot different than other years. This locker room is very close knit.
And I can tell from that answer, you believe it translates into performance on the field between the lines.
100%.
With a pretty deep rotation on the edge, specifically your outside linebacker group, how do you know when it's going to be your opportunity within a game plan? And is there a niche within that group that you feel like you uniquely contribute to?
You never really know. You have a game plan and you know what personnel are going to be played, but you never know what the other team is really going to do. So you just have to be ready for anything, So you might think you're going to play a lot, and you might not think you're going to play a lot and end up playing a lot. You just have to be ready. And then for my role, I just feel like I just try to bring energy. I try to play as hard as I can. I just try to just make something happen when I get the chance.
Yeah. Is that unpredictability a challenge coming from the Big 12, where you were the guy and you kind of knew exactly what your role and your opportunity was going to be?
Maybe at first, but now I know my role pretty well, and I feel like when I go in, I'm going to always make the most of my opportunities now. From just the growth from last year to this year,
Mm-hmm. Last thing, Ogbo, and I'd love to get into your upbringing a little bit. Part of what this podcast is all about is our audience know inside of the helmet and underneath the pads. And I've read that your parents were Nigerian immigrants. Is that correct? And can you fill us in on your family narrative?
Oh yeah, my parents they came here in their mid-20s. They came to Florida. I was born in Gainesville, Florida, and then I ended up moving to Houston. I grew up in Houston.
And do you have family members, siblings?
Oh yeah, I have 4 older sisters, 1 younger brother.
4 older sisters and 1 younger brother. Okay, so as I understand it, you didn't start playing football until your junior year of high school. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so you got 4 older sisters, and all of a sudden you decide midway through your high school career you're going to try out for football. Tell us about that story.
Yeah, so honestly, one of my coaches, he was my health teacher. He just would tell me all the time that like I was built to play football, you know, and he was just like, leave that skateboard and stuff alone, like come play football. And I was skeptical, you know. I'd watch football. My dad's like a huge football fan. A lot of my friends are, but I never really like took part of it outside of like playing catch, like outside, you know. So he kept on like just asking me to come, you know, not like trying to make me play, but just saying like, just check it out. I finally came out and I ended up playing. I liked it. I sucked really bad though. So I guess there was a game where a guy that like I played behind got hurt and like they had to play me. And at this point, nobody really knew like what I could really do in the game. I'd only played in practice and I just started getting better. I ended up having 2 sacks in that game. And then from there, I got better. I just got better with time.
So you were a pass rusher from the very beginning?
100%.
And did that game or that junior season eventually get you some attention from the likes of Oklahoma?
100%.
Well, that's incredible. What other activities? You mentioned skateboarding, I think I heard in there. Before you got into football, what else were you into as a young adult?
I was a little artsy. I was a little nerd, you know. I like to like read and write poetry. I'm really into music, you know. So football, like at the time when I was being introduced to it, it was a little different for me to be aggressive like that, you know. But it ended up working out pretty fine.
So really, your first introduction to sports, it sounds like football, right? You weren't like playing soccer on the side or running track and field or anything?
Nothing, I guess, organized.
Nothing organized. That's amazing. Have you kept up the reading and the poetry? Is that still a part of your day-to-day life?
Time to time, I might on the plane or in the hotel before a game, you know, when we have downtime.
Good for you. That's really awesome. You know, I hear some similarities with Samson Ebukam's story. I wonder if you've bonded over some shared experiences with your family history.
Me and Samson, we're like a reflection of each other as far as like how we grew up. It's crazy. We're only a week apart, and our birthdays also, and we're from the same tribe in Nigeria. It's crazy.
That's remarkable. So he went to the Pacific Northwest, his family to Portland, if I remember, and you said Florida to Houston, where there's a large Nigerian population as well.
Yes, sir.
That's remarkable. You know, Samson put me on to some great Nigerian food, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, my wife and
he showed me some. I didn't really like it that much.
Really? Locally here in LA?
Yeah, I told him he needs to come to Houston with me.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, we had, let's see, it was a jollof rice combo. Am I saying that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
With some goat meat. Yeah, and then obviously the fufu.
How'd you like the goat meat?
The staple. I loved it. Like I'm all
chewy, right?
Chewy, yeah, definitely. More so than steak or something would be. But I'm into that alternate beef stuff, whether it's, you know, bison or lamb or goat. I mean, outside of the United States, like you can tell people like goat is super popular, right?
Mm-hmm, for sure. 100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to breaking bread with you sometime soon when we can all get back together. And I appreciate this opportunity to get to know you better, Ogbo, and for our audience to get to know you as a person, as a poet, as a skateboarder, and as an edge rusher. Wish you all the success on Thursday night at SoFi against the Patriots, and certainly in this stretch run.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
And to our audience, thanks as always for listening. If you want to get us a Christmas present, all we'd ask for is a review before you get on with your day. Remember, Rams and Patriots Thursday night at SoFi Stadium. For Ogbo, Rudy, Jory, Jamie, I'm JB Long. This is Rams Review.